Ken Urker, Gypsy Rose Blanchard's current partner, seemed to emerge from the shadows to stand by her side. But while their relationship plays out publicly, many have started to question Ken's motives, behavior, and what he truly is hiding beneath the surface. As people dig deeper into his past, troubling allegations and rumors have surfaced, ranging from his sexuality, cheating, drug addiction, and the unsettling suspicion that he may be in this relationship for reasons beyond love. The deeper we look, the darker the picture becomes. In this story, we'll be exploring these 4 key aspects of Ken's life and how they could potentially unravel his relationship with Gypsy. This is not just a story about their current relationship. It's a dive into who Ken truly is and what's driving his behavior. The first major crack in Ken's public image appeared when a man named Stevie Wood claimed to have been in a long-term relationship with him. This revelation didn't come quietly. It shook social media and left many fans of Gypsy Rose Blanchard reeling. The story started with Stevie demanding that Ken return personal items like photos, videos, and an engraved ring, all of which hinted at an intimate connection. What made the situation worse was that the rumors didn't die down. They spread like wildfire, with creators like Flawless Nina picking up the story and amplifying it. She did more than just report the rumor. She dissected it, pointing out that this was more than just fleeting accusation. According to Nina, this was a case of someone coming forward to expose a side of Ken that had been kept hidden.
Child, Ken Urker got some fruit in his tank, allegedly. Let's check out the receipts. So here this man says, "Hey Chip, tell Ken that I want all of our pictures, videos, and scrapbooks returned ASAP. He thought he was cute using me while playing house with you. I have some good stories to tell you if you want to hit me up in my DMs. I also want my personally engraved ring and necklace back. I have a box of his stuff too." Y'all, read this. Because he's saying Gypsy trapped Ken just like Dee Dee trapped Rod. Child, the tea is getting too hot over here. It's getting hot in here. So now Ken is allegedly... I told y'all, I thought he had a little bit of some fruit in his tank. And look, I love the LGBTQ community. Like, but I kind of had the vibes, y'all. And I told y'all something was, I don't know, he was just giving. No, he was just giving. He was giving that. That's all I'm saying.
Ken's response was swift and defensive. He repeatedly denied the existence of Steve, calling the story fabricated and dismissed it as nonsense.
Am I gay? No. Am I bi? No. If I was, I would just say so, but I'm not. There's no shame in it. It's 2024.
People keep asking about the Steve Woods thing again. I've already addressed this. He doesn't exist.
Just ignore it. Like,
internet troll.
Yeah.
Don't believe everything you read online. There's no evidence. There's no receipts.
Exactly.
However, his denials only seemed to fuel the fire. Why was Ken so quick to defend himself over and over again? If there was truly nothing to the story, the old saying goes, if there is smoke, there is fire. And in this case, the smoke was getting thicker. More men came forward after Steve's claims, adding weight to the accusations. One by one, they shared their own stories of meeting Ken on Grindr, a dating app predominantly used by gay and bisexual men. One of these men even commented on Gypsy's Instagram, urging her to investigate Ken. Gypsy quickly dismissed the comment as trolling, but the damage was done. The rumors continued to swirl, and it became harder and harder for Ken to shake them off.
If you thought Gypsy confirming her sex dates with boyfriend Ken was TMI, wait till you see what she commented on this page. So another T page, I will tag them down below, posted the comment about Ken, Gypsy's boyfriend, being on Grindr. Gypsy then commented on that video saying they are just trolls with no proof. The T page replied, "I don't know, Gyp, it's starting to look fishy with now 2 people coming forward." Gypsy replied, "People also don't have the privilege of his cat emoji eating skills. If they did, any doubt would be washed away in the wave of LOL. TMI. Now, if you don't know what's going on with this situation, another account commented this, I believe, on Gypsy's Instagram. "By the way, Gypsy, you should really investigate on Ken. Some of us have met him on Grindr, and Grindr is a gay app. FYI.
As I pointed out, Ken's behavior didn't line up with someone who was truly unbothered. She remarked during one of her live streams, if you're not bothered by something, you don't address it constantly. And yet, Ken couldn't stop addressing it, sometimes even aggressively. This led many to believe that Ken wasn't telling the whole truth. Was Ken hiding something about his sexuality? Was his public persona carefully crafted to maintain a certain image while keeping his true self under wraps? These are the questions people have been asking for months. As Ken continued to act defensively, more and more people began to believe that he wasn't being entirely honest about his past. For Gypsy, this must have raised its own set of questions. How much did she know? And if Ken's past relationships involved men, what does that mean for the future of their relationship? The drama surrounding Ken's sexuality didn't end there. On the heels of the rumors about his relationships with men came allegations of cheating. A woman who wished to remain anonymous came forward with shocking claims about Ken's infidelity. She shared detailed information about Ken's involvement with multiple partners, not just men but women as well. According to her, Ken had been cheating on Gypsy, and his secret relationships weren't just rumors. They were the reason he was constantly pulling away from Gypsy emotionally and physically. The cheating allegations were given more weight by Ash2Trippy, another creator who covered the ongoing drama. Ash2Trippy provided a platform for people to speak out about Ken's behavior, and she too received multiple stories about Ken's infidelity.
You guys are never going to believe me when I tell you I got confirmation that Ken Urker or Urker or whatever he wants to go by is in fact a bisexual man. Not that there's anything wrong with that, just it's the fact that why is he lying? Now, I was skeptical for a long time too about the whole Ken Gypsy Rose's baby daddy's sexuality thing. I thought, yeah, it must have been like trolls and things like that, just because the accounts they were hiding behind were so, you know. However, somebody has contacted me and they have let me know that this is in fact true. This is somebody that has met up with Ken a few times. This is somebody that is a regular average person. And they have nothing to gain. They don't want their image out there. They don't want nothing like that. But they do want people to know that Ken is bi and Ken is sleeping with people unprotected.
One of the most disturbing allegations came from a man who claimed had been sleeping with other men unprotected, all while he was still involved with Gypsy.
Reached out to me, has been with you twice, and this was when Gypsy was incarcerated and you were engaged to her. Care to explain? The reason this guy reached out to me and also a couple of other creators, I believe, is because he is concerned for the safety of Ken's child, because he says that Ken does not like to use protection. So, yeah.
This raised serious concerns for Gypsy and their unborn child, as the man expressed fears about Ken's reckless behavior. In one of her videos, Ash2Trippy said, multiple men have come forward saying they've been with Ken on Grindr. This wasn't just speculation anymore. People were coming forward with their own personal experiences, and their stories painted a damning picture of Ken as a man who couldn't be trusted. The woman who spoke out also revealed something else. Ken's cold, distant behavior toward Gypsy wasn't just speculation. She detailed how Ken often walked ahead of Gypsy in public, rarely showed affection, and seemed more annoyed than in love. Gypsy's followers began to notice the same thing. In live streams and interviews, Ken would often appear frustrated, disengaged, or outright rude toward Gypsy. One particularly telling moment occurred during a live stream while the couple was waiting at the airport. Ken complained about having to wait for their flight, his irritation evident as he snapped at Gypsy.
How much more time to wait?
An hour plus.
Hour?
Yeah, hour plus. See, I'm the kind of person who wants to get here 1 hour before takeoff, but you're the kind of person who wants to get here 3 hours. And this is exactly what happened. We ended up sitting at a fucking terminal for 2 hours.
But you could always go shopping at the little gift shops.
Who wants to go shopping at an airport? Who wants to spend 3 times the price on a...
I like to.
Oh yeah? Where's your goods?
I didn't buy
Okay, that's right.
This wasn't the behavior of a man deeply in love with his partner. It was the behavior of someone who seemed bored and ready to leave. The question on everyone's mind was simple. Why was Ken still with Gypsy if he seemed so unhappy? Could it be that there was something more keeping him there beyond love? The allegations of cheating combined with Ken's public behavior painted a picture of someone who was emotionally checked out of the relationship. And for someone who had so much to lose, Ken's defensive and rude behavior only made things worse.
Who's next to you? Ken.
Ken, the one and only Chad himself.
Stop saying that.
I know.
Is Ken cheating on Gypsy? While we may not have had proof, the evidence is stacking up. His actions, both online and in public, don't reflect the commitment of someone who's in it for love. As if the rumors of cheating and sexuality weren't enough, there was another layer to Ken's past that cast an even darker shadow: his history with drug addiction. According to Rachel, a former inmate of Gypsy's, Ken and Gypsy's relationship didn't start when she got out of prison. In fact, they had been together before, but the relationship ended because of Ken's struggles with addiction. Rachel appeared on a live stream hosted by Sir Morbidek, where she shared intimate details about Ken's addiction. According to her, Ken's addiction was so severe that Gypsy couldn't handle it, which led to their breakup. Rachel said Ken's addiction was too much for Gypsy to handle back then, and I think it's one of the reasons they parted ways.
What was the real reason why? Do you know the real reason why he broke up with her in prison?
What I was told is that he's an addict.
He's an addict?
Yeah.
Drugs or alcohol?
Yeah, drugs.
Or male sex? Oh, drugs. Okay.
Maybe. Yeah. She said, and he couldn't wait that long to be with other women. That, and he relapsed, I guess.
Oh, no.
That's what I was told.
I wonder if Ken knows that she said that.
I don't know.
Addiction isn't something that just goes away. Even if Ken isn't currently using, the emotional and psychological scars left by addiction can linger for years, affecting behavior, relationships, and overall stability. This could explain a lot about Ken's erratic behavior, especially his mood swings and public outbursts. Addiction often leads to emotional volatility, and Ken's interactions with Gypsy, his quick temper, defensive posture, and general irritability may be connected to the struggles he faced with addiction in the past. We've seen Ken lose his temper on multiple occasions, from snapping at Gypsy during live streams to getting into online arguments with commenters. Could his past struggles with addiction be resurfacing and affecting his current relationship? We don't know if Ken is still dealing with addiction, but if he is, it could explain a lot about his behavior. Addiction is a difficult journey, one that requires ongoing support and treatment. If Ken hasn't dealt with the underlying issues that caused his addiction in the first place, it's possible that those unresolved problems are wreaking havoc on his relationship with Gypsy. This relationship adds a new layer to the story of Ken and Gypsy. What was once thought to be a simple case of two people in love has now become a complex narrative of addiction, emotional turmoil, and potential manipulation. Perhaps the darkest question of all is whether Ken is truly in this relationship for love, or if there is something else motivating him. Money? Multiple sources, including creators like Ivory Rose and Flawless Nina, have speculated that Ken is financially dependent on Gypsy. After all, Ken doesn't have a job, and he's been living with Gypsy and her parents since the hurricane that forced him into their home. What started as a temporary arrangement has seemingly become permanent, with Ken relying on Gypsy for support. Gypsy's public persona is growing. She's been making media appearances, recording podcasts, and even writing a book. With all of these opportunities comes financial gain, and it's hard not to wonder if Ken is sticking around because he sees an opportunity to benefit from Gypsy's rising star. Many people have pointed out Ken's disinterest and lack of affection toward Gypsy in public.
Now, I want you to look closely at this picture. Ken's body language is, he's giving her the type of hold that you'd give a buddy in a picture. Look at the way his shoulders are up, his stance. This is not an affectionate picture. There's very much distance between their body. And that's how all their pictures look. I think anyone that has really watched Gypsy Rose and Ken, you know that Ken is not into her. And honestly, I don't think he's really into women, period. And we already have been down that road and we know why.
Gypsy's story has drawn a lot of attention, and with attention comes money. Whether it's from future reality TV deals, interviews, or endorsements, there is a lot at stake financially. And for someone like Ken, who doesn't seem to be contributing financially, it's easy to see why people might think he's using Gypsy for her money. Is Ken in it for love, or is he in it for financial gain? The more we look at his actions, the more it seems like Ken's motives might be not as pure as they appear. Ken Urker's past is full of shadows, and as we've dug deeper, it's clearer that there is more to him than meets the eye. From the rumors about his sexuality and cheating to his troubled past with addiction and the suspicions that he's only in this relationship for money, Ken is far from the picture-perfect partner he might want the world to believe. The deeper we dig, the darker it gets. And as Gypsy Rose Blanchard's partner, Ken's secrets don't just affect him, they affect her too. What's next for Ken and Gypsy? As their relationship continues to unfold, one thing is certain: this story is far from over.